RHONJ, Teresa Giudice considers making up with Kathy and Rosie. Teresa Giudice recently opened up about whether or not she'd ever make up with her estranged cousins, Kathy Wackel and Rosie Pieri. She also talked about Tamra Judge and her standing with Joe Giudice's family, plus more juicy details about Real Housewives of New Jersey. Keep reading to see what she revealed. Teresa Giudice addresses relationship with Kathy. On the August 22 episode of All About THR podcast, Teresa Giudice spoke about reconciling with her cousins, Kathy and Rosie. She said, "I haven't seen them in forever. They live their lives, I live my life, and I wish them well, and I never run into them. I never see them. And that's about it." The RHONJ star was asked if she'd acknowledge them if she saw them out in public. Of course I would say hi. I have to say, I love Kathy's kids, Victoria Wackel and Joseph Wackel. She continued, speaking about how Kathy's daughter Victoria recently got married. "So happy for her," the Real Housewives star said. Then she spoke about seeing Kathy's son, who she affectionately calls Joey, recently at a bar. "I was so happy to see him," Teresa said. "I always had a great love for her kids." RHONJ star spends time with her ex's family. Where other family matters are concerned, Teresa has remained on good terms with her ex-husband's family. She and Joe Giudice divorced in 2020. He was deported to Italy for bank and wire fraud. Joe has since moved to the Bahamas, where his daughters take turns visiting with him. When Joe first left, it was a little. I didn't see them. Joe's grandmother passed away first. We went to the wake, Louis and I, we gave our condolences. And then after that, I think it was Hia's graduation. That was the first time that I had to see them in a social setting, and it was good," Teresa said on the podcast. "We said hi to them, and then every single time it got easier and easier." The RHONJ star said that his family came for Melania's graduation photos. She also revealed that they were all sweet to her new husband, Louis Ruiz. Teresa Giudice said that they've never had anything negative to say about her and vice versa. Her 4 daughters also spend a good amount of time with their dad's family. Additionally, she pointed out Joe's family's bond. They always have each other's back. No jealousy. They're always there for each other, which I love. When it came to discussing the ongoing drama with Tamra Judge from Real Housewives of Orange County, Teresa Giudice said she's over it. She said Tamra has always got something to say about me. The Bravo star continued, "I get it, but it's like, I don't talk asterisked about her. It's like, stop please. I usually don't throw the first punch. I don't." Teresa Giudice sat in her expansive kitchen, sipping on a cup of chamomile tea. The soothing aroma filled the room, but her mind was far from calm. It was a rare quiet moment in the chaotic life of New Jersey's most talked about reality star. Her daughters were out for the evening, and Louis was busy working in his home office. She glanced at the family photo wall, her eyes lingering on the images from happier times, before the fame, before the drama, before the family fractures. There was one face missing from every picture: Kathy Wackel, her cousin, and, by extension, Rosie Pieri. The thought of Kathy and Rosie had been creeping into Teresa's mind more often lately. It had been years since their relationship had deteriorated, becoming a tangled web of misunderstandings, insults, and reality TV-fueled animosity. But now, standing on the other side of her prison sentence, multiple bestsellers, and a new chapter in her life, Teresa wondered if it was time to mend fences. The idea had been planted during a recent therapy session. Her therapist, a no-nonsense woman with a penchant for pushing Teresa out of her comfort zone, had asked, "Do you feel any unresolved guilt or sadness about your relationships?" It had been a direct hit. Of course I feel bad, Teresa had admitted, tears welling in her eyes. They were family. But it's not just me. They said things too. The therapist had nodded but challenged her. If you want peace, you have to be the one to take the first step. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about healing. Now here she was, toying with the idea. Her phone sat on the counter, taunting her. She had scrolled through her contacts earlier, confirming that both Kathy and Rosie's numbers were still saved. It would be easy to text or call, but nothing about this felt easy. As she mulled it over, Teresa decided she needed another opinion. She grabbed her phone and called Melissa Gorga. Their relationship hadn't always been smooth sailing either, but they had found a way to coexist. Maybe Melissa could offer some insight. "Hey, Tre," Melissa answered, her voice cheerful. "What's up?" "Hey, Melissa," Teresa began, her tone hesitant. "I need your advice on something." "Of course," Melissa said, sounding intrigued. "What's going on?" Teresa took a deep breath. "I've been thinking about reaching out to Kathy and Rosie. To make things right. What do you think?" There was a brief silence on the other end of the line before Melissa spoke. "Wow, Tre, that's big. Are you sure you're ready for that?" "I don't know," Teresa admitted. "But I've been thinking about what's important. Family's important, And with everything that's happened in my life, I'm tired of holding on to grudges." Melissa's voice softened. "I think it's a good idea, but just be prepared. They might not react the way you want them to. There's a lot of hurt there on both sides." "I know," Teresa said, "but I feel like I have to try." After hanging up with Melissa, Teresa felt a renewed sense of determination. She picked up her phone again and composed a simple text. "Hi, Kathy, it's Teresa. I've been thinking about us and wanted to see if you'd be open to meeting. Let me know." Her finger hovered over the send button for what felt like an eternity. Finally, she pressed it. The message was out in the universe, and there was no taking it back now. The next few hours were agonizing. Teresa busied herself with household chores, but her mind kept drifting back to her phone. When it finally buzzed, she jumped. Kathy's reply was measured but not unkind. "Hi, Teresa. I'm surprised to hear from you, but I'm open to meeting. Let's talk." A mixture of relief and anxiety washed over Teresa. She immediately texted back to arrange a time and place. They agreed to meet at a quiet cafe in Franklin Lakes the following afternoon. When Teresa arrived at the cafe, Kathy was already there, seated at a corner table. She looked the same but different, older, wiser, and perhaps a bit guarded. Teresa's heart raced as she approached. "Hi, Kathy," she said, forcing a smile. "Hi, Teresa," Kathy replied, her expression neutral. They sat down, and for a moment, neither spoke. The weight of their shared history hung in the air like a cloud. Finally, Teresa broke the silence. "Thank you for meeting me. I know this isn't easy." Kathy nodded. "It's been a long time. I wasn't sure if this day would ever come." "Me neither," Teresa admitted. "But I've been doing a lot of thinking. Life's too short, I've made mistakes, Kathy. I'm not proud of everything I've said or done." Kathy's eyes softened. "We've all made mistakes, Teresa. I said things too. But at the end of the day, we're family, and family should mean something." Their conversation flowed more easily after that. They talked about their kids, their parents, and the years they had missed. By the time they finished their coffees, it felt like a small but significant crack had formed in the wall that had separated them for so long. As they stood to leave, Kathy hesitated. Rosie would love to hear from you too. She's missed you." Teresa smiled, a genuine smile that reached her eyes. "I'd love to see her. Let's set something up." Driving home, Teresa felt a sense of peace she hadn't felt in years. Reaching out to Kathy had been scary, but it was worth it. She knew the road to fully repairing their relationship would be long and bumpy, but she was willing to walk it. For the first time in a long time, she felt like she was moving forward, leaving the past where it belonged behind her.